Hey there, everybody. We are a little early this week because my daughter's taking the pre-SAT today and she's out of school at 12:30. So I gotta go pick her up. But I do need to get dinner ready, so I thought I would come live really quick and show you what it is I am prepping for tonight. Now, a couple weeks ago, I talked about that there's this like sausage, potato, pepper, onion bake, and that's what I'm making tonight. This recipe I got from my sister, and it is such a family favorite. When all of us are getting together, inevitably somebody cooks it. All right, and so, because it's just so simple, it's a crowd pleaser, almost everybody likes it, and it just simply has potatoes, and then it has peppers, and I like the red and the orange and yellow peppers, and then it has onions. All right, so super easy. And then I just put some oil on it. Oh, sausage, I forgot the sausage. It's got sweet Italian sausage. So super easy. I drizzle some oil and put some salt and pepper on it, and we're good to go. And you can add some other flavors too if you prefer other flavors. But those are, everybody kind of likes it basic. And my kids, they like to eat it with sour cream. And they kind of like drown it in sour cream, quite honestly. I say that like it's a pleasant thing. It is not so pleasing to watch them eat this meal. However, I can only do what I can only do. And that's not a battle worth fighting, right? We're going to pick our battles. All right, so I have already kind of cleaned and prepped the veggies. And now I am working on dicing the potatoes. So I'm going to tilt you guys down. Hopefully you don't fall off. I had to get a new rig because last week I had some technical difficulties, and oh my gosh, my eyes, I'm all teary-eyed. I told you all, like with the onions, the secret is to keep that hairy end intact, but I had to go ahead and cut it off because I'm going to throw these into my chopper, and I've been like tearing up, so my eyes are a little bloodshot because of that. So bear with me. Hopefully later you don't see full-blown tears, but I can't guarantee anything. All right, so if I fall, if my phone falls, please don't laugh at me too much. All right, and it's going to be really creaky. I've got to figure out a way to make this less creaky. But I'm going to tilt you down so you're looking at my mandolin, because that's what I'm going to be using today. I've already used it a little bit, so it's dirty. All right, and so the cool thing about our mandolin, here, let me tilt you guys down, and I'll just show you right on the cutting board. All right, this is going to be loud. Woo. Okay. So the cool thing about our mandolin is that you can do a dice cut as well as a slice cut, okay? So, and you have two different, these are like little shark's teeth coming up, and this is, these are closer together, so it's gonna be a finer dice, and then these are further apart, so it'll be a little bit of a bigger dice. But this is how you'd make French fries. If you want like shoestring fries, this is how you're gonna make them. All that kind of good stuff. So, and then this you can crank up and down for the like width of it. So you can make it like, if you put it on like one, it is like paper thin. It is perfect if you make apple chips or something in the oven where you just like turn it at 200 degrees and you cook those for a couple hours. Delicious, and your house will smell amazing. So, so what we do in order to get this dice cut, what we have to do is we got to take the potato this way, turn it, and then take it back down, and that's going to give us this nice dice cut that we have right here. Okay, so all right, so this protects my fingers. All right, I don't want to lose any fingers making this. And then I'm just doing it right into the cover of these because there's no sense in dirtying something else, right? And then I can just dump them right in there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this forward. Now, potatoes are tricky because of the way they're shaped. Sometimes it's hard to kind of get a good grip on them. And so you might see me kind of finagle it a little bit, but that's all that is. It's just because of the shape of the potatoes. Some of the potatoes are perfect shaped for this. And then other ones, you got to do a little bit of moving around, all right? So we're going to move this up, right? And then we're going to turn it and bring it back down, all right? Move it up. Bring it back down. Easy peasy. All right, I'm going a little bit slow, so that's why it's getting kind of hung up, because I want you guys to be able to see. But you can go really fast and knock that out. And I take this little end piece, I just set it aside, and then I'll just dice that later at the end. All right, so put that potato in there, take it up, turn it, bring it down. So easy, 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 easy. And that would have taken me forever to cut with a knife, right? Whatever you do, don't ever put your little fingers in there, because these things are sharp, sharp, sharp. All right, and look at that. Perfect. All crumbly, diced up. All right, so I'm going to put some of this in here. I'm going to start filling up this other pan. This is such a crowd pleaser. I make 2 pans of it anytime I make it. And I've seen these a lot of times when you have family gatherings. Again, like I said, this is a crowd pleaser, so it's a good meal. It's not that expensive to make. And a lot of this stuff is stuff you already have on hand, right? You may not usually carry, you know, the sweet Italian sausage, but the rest of the stuff, most everybody has peppers and onions typically on hand. And peppers are an easy enough thing to grab at the store when you're at the grocery if you know you're making this week. All right, so easy. So after we get all of this assembled, we will be putting it in the oven. So I do have the oven preheating at like 375. I couldn't remember the right temperature, but I think 375 is a good place to start. And this will take 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on how full you make it. And as you will come to see if you watch me week after week, I like push the limits. When they say this only holds this much capacity, I will push that to the max because I love leftovers. Like love leftovers. I want leftovers in my house because that means there's another night this week that I'm not going to have to do the cooking, right? And so I love it. So this won't probably make a whole nother meal left over by the time my kids get done with it, honestly. But it will definitely make some lunches and stuff for everybody. And we have a weird week. Ella has a half day today. Joey's not even there. Both of them have a half day on Friday. All right. So it's just a weird week for us. So when we have those weird weeks, everybody's kind of coming and going. And of course I got to get them, right? So everybody's kind of coming and going and I have to go get them. So it's great to have meals already chilling in the fridge that they can just pull out, pop into the microwave and be done, right? All right. So we are done with this. I'm going to set this aside. Ooh, let me take I always want to put it in the lock position. So if anybody like reaches into the dishwasher or the sink, they're not going to get their little fingers snapped with that. All right, like I said, super duper sharp. All right, let me set this aside because I will rinse this off because I will cover it for part of the time, not the whole time, just simply because I like it to get crispy on top, right? Where's my knife? Hi there. Up close and personal. All right, so we're going to chop up these onions. I'm going to slice them just a little bit more. It just makes it a little bit quicker in there. All right. Easy peasy. All right, and you know, you've seen me use my knife a lot and not necessarily use this chopper. And there are some recipes I prefer. Let me slide this over here. Let me actually slide these up there. I prefer to use a knife for, and then, oh, I got this a little full. There we go. And then there are other recipes that I prefer to chop it up like this, right? Because this can chop it really fine. I left it kind of coarse because I don't want it too terribly fine. I like coarse chops because I love onions. And everybody in my house loves onions. If I start browning onions, the kids come down, they're like, that sounds delicious. What are we eating, right? And I'm like, it's onions. And I just always laugh at them, but they just love it because they know me browning onions is a precursor to an awesome meal. So they smell them and they think, Mom's cooking. All right, so I love onions. And so I'm going to put a whole bunch of onions in here because they're going to cook down, but it's going to add so much flavor to this. It's going to be delicious, all right? So we have our onion bin over there, and we have both a white onion and a red onion because I always like to have both on hand all the time because, of course, there's such different flavors for your white onion and your red onions. And so I like to have that on hand all the time so that I can get those different flavors. I love my red onions for my salsas and to go on things where you just kind of want the extra zing, right? That red onion's great for that zing. All right, and then with the peppers, the orange and red peppers. Ooh, the onions are getting to my eyes. My nose is gonna start dripping. All right, so with the peppers, the orange and yellow and red peppers are a little bit sweeter. They have a slightly different taste than the green one. All right. Now, another secret with your peppers, and I love the orange and the red. They're just so vibrant. Just add a little color to the meal. Another secret with your peppers is the more humps on the bottom, the sweeter they are, okay? Oh my gosh, I'm actually like crying. The more humps on the bottom, the sweeter they are. So when they have 4 or more, they're gonna be sweeter than the ones with 3, all right? So that's an easy way if you like the sweet peppers a little bit better, like if you eat them raw or your kids eat them raw and maybe they like the sweet ones a little bit better, that's the secret to being able to pick them in the store, because you can't clearly eat them to test them in the store, right? Woo! Tears are running down my face, people. All right, so let's get some red in there. Easy, easy. See how quick and easy this is? And that's what I love, why I love using the chopper for this recipe, because that would take me a long time to chop all those veggies. And the mandolin, because again, that would take me a long time to chop all those potatoes. All right. Yum. Yum, yum. It's gonna be so good. All right. Excellent. Done, done, done. All right. Yum, yum. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of oil in here because I want to make sure these potatoes don't brown while I'm adding the rest of the ingredients, right? And again, I like avocado oil. This one's from Aldi's, and it is just as good as the ones that are like $20 a bottle. Thank you very much. And, you know, I love my ingredients. I'm going to cut these up real quick. I love my ingredients, and I love them to be fresh, and I like quality ingredients. I'm a big component of that. Sometimes you just have to buy specific brands to get that best flavor. The thing I love about this right here, and some of the expensive, like there's one called something Choice that I really love, is that it has a nice buttery flavor to it. It does not add an additional flavor to the dish. So that way, because some avocado oils actually have a flavor to them, and I don't necessarily want those, because I want my spices, my herbs and stuff. I want those to flavor my dish. If I want oil to flavor my dish, I'll use like an extra virgin olive oil or something like that, right? To add that flavor. But when I'm using avocado oil, I don't necessarily want it to flavor that dish, right? And vegetable oils are not necessarily my friend. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but sometimes you can have a little bit of a sensitivity to it, and they just don't really agree with me. Like, I just kind of get a little bit of a bellyache when I use them. So if you're in tune with your body and you kind of recognize that stuff, it doesn't mean you can't eat the popcorn, right? You just might want to change it up, like change up what type of oil you're using with that popcorn, right? And so that's what I did. I used to use like sort of a vegetable type of a oil. It wasn't a vegetable oil, but it was categorized as one, but it would just give me a bellyache. So it's important to just kind of know your ingredients and know what you could possibly change before you write off an entire recipe, right? All right, so last but certainly not least, we have our sausage. All right, so I've already chopped this up, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try and break it up and put it right into the dish. Yummy. Well, it'll be a lot more yummy when it's not raw. I just know what the end result is, and I know it's going to be yummy. So I try to break it up in here. All right. Now, a secret to this is, so these were actually sausage links, and I cut the casing off of them. I just prefer it that way. So I cut the casing off of them, but a secret to kind of have them be less like gloppy like this and more like little chunks is to go ahead and just like freeze it just a little bit, just so it's firm, right? And that makes it a lot easier. It's great. That's another tip when you're doing grinding meats and things like that. If you can pop them into the freezer for just, 10 minutes just to get them firm. You don't want them frozen solid, of course, because you won't get anywhere fast with that. But if you can put them into the freezer just to get them firm, they will go through the grinder a lot easier, and it won't be quite so mushy on the other side. All right, so these, I didn't have time. Honestly, I forgot that I was doing this recipe today, and I remembered about 2 hours ago, and I had to pull these out of the freezer. So I soaked them in some water to get them to thaw out, and since I'd already thawed them out, I didn't want to refreeze them, and I didn't have time to either. So, because you know what? Sometimes all best laid plans, right? You plan this out and then you forget at the last minute and you're like, son of a gun. And then you're still rushing around anyways, and that's what you're trying to avoid. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't like to rush. All right, I can rush, and I am very capable, and I do good work when I do that kind of stuff, but I don't like to live in that space of tension and stress if I can avoid it. But sometimes you can't avoid it because you have kids and, families and things that are out of your control, right? So, but this is in my control, and I'm so excited that as soon as I get this done, I'm just going to toss a little bit more oil, and then I'm going to toss the whole thing. I'm going to get in there, stir it. You see what I mean about pushing the limits? Look how full these dishes are. These are probably going to take a little over an hour to cook. So if you don't use quite as many ingredients, it won't take quite so long. So that's just kind of some food for thought. Sorry, I'm going to wash my hands really quick. Get this stuff off of here. And I'll show you the sausage that I use. A lot of times people use, and I used to use all the time, the Johnson's sweet Italian sausage. I just got it at Walmart, I believe, or whatever grocery store. I think every grocery store carries that. But I'm always looking for cleaner ingredients, okay? So I found this, right? And this was at Costco. I'm going to tilt you guys up. Hello. All right, so this was at Costco, and the ingredients on them are super, super simple. And so what I'm always looking for when I'm looking for clean ingredients, I'm looking for, I have more oil in the basement, but I'm not going to go down there right now. I'm always looking for that I know what the ingredients are. I can pronounce all of them, right? They're whole foods. That's what I'm looking for. And the other thing I'm looking for as well is I really try to stay away from natural flavors, okay? Because they don't have to define what natural flavors are. And because I have celiac and because I can't do gluten whatsoever, gluten is a natural flavor. So sometimes those hidden glutens are hiding in there. And so I just prefer to kind of know what all my ingredients are. Does it always work out? No, it doesn't. All right, we are all imperfect in this perfect world, right? And that's okay. But if I can, I try to keep it as clean as possible because I notice when I eat really clean, I just feel better, right? Do I feel like $1,000,000? Not always, but I certainly feel better. And I think you will too if you start kind of looking at those sort of things. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. That's what I loved about these sausage, because they come in a big 4-pack. So I put 1 pack in here, 1 pack in here. I still have 2 packs in the freezer. And I got it at Costco. And for the amount, I don't remember how much they cost, but you can get clean ingredients food, right? At like Whole Foods and all those fancy stores. They're crazy expensive. So when I can find clean food at a great price, that is my happy place right there, all right? So because I am on a budget, just like so many of you, and so this is a great budget-friendly recipe, and look at how many people this is gonna serve. And I'm just kind of stirring it up right here. Then I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. Yum, yum. And if you have little ones don't like pepper or something like that or whatever, I know that looked like a lot of salt, but I promise you it wasn't quite as much as it looked like. Plus this is a lot in this dish, right? So I'm gonna put some, and I'm not lying, I do like me some salt, okay? But, oh my gosh, the pepper's getting to my nose. Okay, so I'm crying from the onions, and now I'm probably gonna sneeze in your ears with this pepper. Ay, ay, ay. What a day. All right, so this actually looks pretty good. Maybe I don't need a little bit more oil in this, all right? Because you know what? When this sausage cooks, oil is going to happen. And I will pull this out about halfway through just to give it a little stir, just to make sure everything's kind of cooking evenly. It's looking good. Uh-oh. Excuse me. I knew it was going to happen. All right. Oh my gosh. I am so congested from those onions, those crazy onions. All right. So these are done. And I am going to just rinse this off really fast just to get some of that starchiness off so it doesn't burn in there. Get a funky smell going with my good smells. All right, so this is perfect. So I'm going to put this right on top here in my other lid. Oh, let me tell you about these really quick because these are literally lifesavers at Thanksgiving. So this is our lasagna pan. I have 8 of them. I know, you're like, why in the world would I need 8 lasagna pans? Well, let me tell you, at Thanksgiving, I have my green bean casserole, I have my potatoes, because I'm going to reheat them, right? My mashed potatoes, I have my dark meat, my white meat, whatever other sides that I have, right? and I stack them. You can turn this upside down, right, and put it right. I don't want to do it because it's so full. So you can turn this upside down, and I can stack them one on top of the other. So I actually take the racks out of here, and I just stack them right in my oven. So I have all these layers of cooking when I'm heating everything up. Everything's already pretty much cooked. I'm just heating everything up or keeping it hot as everybody's arriving. So I love these. And you can also, so say it's just a regular weeknight, and you want a green bean casserole or some sort of casserole, and you want chicken breast or something with it. You can have your casserole on the bottom, and then you can have your chicken breast right on top, and you can do tandem cooking, like cook them at the same time in layers in the oven. All right, so this is not a plastic. It is a special material that is designed for the oven, and it can go into the microwave and the oven. So if you need to speed this process up, I could put this into the microwave for like, I don't know, 45 minutes, right? Or no, 45 minutes, I'm crazy. Put it in the microwave for like 35 to 25 minutes, right? Then I can take it out, put it in the oven, so it has that oven golden brown crispy yumminess, right? And so it just speeds up the process, so I don't have to cook it for a full hour plus in the oven. And so if you're in a hurry, you can do that tandem cooking where you pre-cook it up here, and then you put it in the oven to get that golden sort of thing going on. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go get a tissue because these onions killed me today. Killed me. I'm dead. All right. I'll see you guys later. Dinner's done. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, this is a really easy recipe that you might even have all of the ingredients on hand to make tonight for your family. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.